Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. I have something I have to cut over here. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. And if you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you are forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. Channel members, High Priestess tier. High Priestess tier channel members. You guys are going to have your next video for the 3-month glow up using Microhabits post on Sunday, so keep an eye out for that. There's a small chance that it might be posted on Monday, but I'm really shooting for Sunday. If you're interested in that series, while you're about a month behind, you can still join in. The link for the channel memberships is always in the description box below. Okay, I think that's it. Let's go ahead. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. So I'm just going to say it now. Blah, 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 blah. Wow, that came and went very fast. There must be like a heavy energy moving through the collective, and this doesn't mean it's your reading or it's not. It's just something I'm noticing. A heavy movement through the collective of like Odin energy or some kind of Germanic or Saxon sort of tradition. That kind of current is definitely moving through. I can definitely feel that influencing the collective energy a little bit stronger than it has in the past. I find that interesting. Okay. The offering, some of you in that may be doing offerings, but we have a little bit more going on here than just that. Let's see. No wonder I have been feeling like using my little rune baggie. Just gotta stop it. All right. Okay, I want to see what's going on here. Okay, so the center of my circle here is Sagalas. So, oh man, so this is a continuation of that tower energy that a lot of people are experiencing right now. The tower has been coming up over and over in the energy for the last 2 weeks. And it seems like there's something that's changing in what it is that we're trying to offer. Okay, for some of you, this will be in obvious situations like the context of a relationship. But for some of you, this is going to be in the context of what it is that you accept as offers. And I almost feel that for some of you, this is something coming forward from almost a spirit place. Okay, some of you, it may be changing what you offer spirits. I am feeling a very liminal sort of dark energy coming through, because if you look at this, look at where that offering is coming from, right? And it's moving into the world of color. Some of you, it's going to be very lunar in quality or very eclipse-like. I don't know why, I just heard a term, Balam Tsak. So someone may be working with like Jaguar, doing offerings of some kind. Interesting. Okay. One thing that I see over here is I see a crossroads. And with this crossroads, I am definitely going to say that this is almost like what is this? This is almost like a meeting of something. Something has crossed our path. It's bringing me into the energy of like crossroads deities. So some of you, I'm not even going to list them all off. I think it spans traditions here, but definitely something about crossroads deities working in the night. Some of you may be working the night. This went like super magical. I'm digging it. All right, bring it. Here on the bottom, what we have is Dagas, and it's a new day. There's some sort of illumination or awakening. And I find it kind of interesting that this sort of liminal rune is sitting at the top, where I would typically see like daylight and consciousness. And here on the bottom is where the new day is coming. So there's something on a very deep level that has shifted or changed for someone. Ooh. And I almost feel that someone feels this on like a soul level. Okay, I don't think this reading is going to be for a lot of people. Here we have, in the very middle at the top, we have Nauthi's need. So there is something about our willpower. There's something about possibly some conflicts, but this is really that idea of the need fire, the things that drive us, the things that that fuel our forward movement. And there's something here that has changed, quite possibly due to a tower moment, or this structure that's been broken down. I feel that some of you, you're finding movement in spaces on a spiritual level that you have not experienced in quite some time, if you ever have. This is what it feels like to me. It feels like there's something on this other side that is making this offering, and this really ties nicely with a reading that I think I did last week about a spirit that's coming forward for someone. That reading may or may not resonate for who this message is for, but it's just reminding me of that. I never remember my readings, and so if I get reminded of it during a reading, I have to say something about it. Here what we have is we have the rune Isa again. This came out in I'm posting this on Saturday, so this came out in Thursday's reading, and this is really about the breaking through of blocks, right? So someone's willpower has gathered steam enough to break through some sort of block, and I almost feel that this willpower and this offering and this tower coming down was the great transmutation that someone recently experienced. Here with the ox, this is kind of like breaking through the block through sheer willpower, right? Really carrying that workload. The other interesting thing about this one for me is that anytime I see this, there's something about freedom, right? Being yoked versus being freed. I feel that someone has broken free of something that maybe they didn't want in their life anymore. And this is what's changing that sort of spiritual tectonic plate. Here we have, why am I blanking here? We have Thurisaz. And this is really about conflict, danger, but it's about protection. Right? It's the thorns on the plant that will poke you if you go to touch it and pluck it. It's almost like there's some added layer of protection that's not arising from higher spaces. It's actually arising from deep down within, and it's coming along with this new day. Someone here, because you are at this crossroads energy, and this has come out before for a different collective. It may have resonated for you, but it's come out in terms of how I feel it for a different collective. It's almost like there's this transition that's taking place on a spiritual level. It's happened physically before. Now it's happening on a spiritual level. And this is a very vulnerable state. And so there's some sort of added protection that's taking place. I do feel lunar energy stepping through very heavily. If you want to understand a little bit more about lunar energy, right? In terms of esotericism and mythology and mysticism, the moon is the gateway to the rest of the planets when viewed from Earth. So oftentimes your gateway entities will be lunar in quality, and they're often associated with the crossroads. So because it represents the crossroads between the 3D and the spiritual plane. It's where they intersect and meet and mingle. And someone here, there's something about that, where that intersects, where that mingles with you as an individual that has changed. Maybe you've changed your practices. Maybe you have changed, you can just feel a change of something that's connected into you. Maybe a new deity has entered your life. Maybe a new religion, right? You've joined a new religion. Maybe you've adopted one. There's something here that's changed in the way that we meet with spirit. Okay, let's see. Going to the crows again. All right. Clarify. Okay, we'll take it. Now, it's funny because I've been seeing resources now that talk about Gabo in terms of a gift, right? And back when I was learning very heavily, this was more about the crossroads. And so that's why I'm reading it that way, because it's what's inside my brain as the reader. So you can take whatever you want. But here with the sun, it's like a choice or an intersection point was illuminated. I do feel that there's something about this connection point and the way that it's changing that's kind of reinvigorating someone. It's like the need fires being set ablaze again, and this is really helping someone to have the willpower to break down certain obstacles that they weren't able to previously. coming out of a period of stagnation, a lack of motivation, maybe even feeling scattered energies. And now what's being offered is this kind of, here, you have all the resources and all the fire that you need now to take this down and to rebuild in some way. Okay, yes, the transition happening. And we have the Six of Pentacles as well. And this is sitting underneath the rune that's really talking about willpower. So it's almost like a transformation in willpower. And this is part of what's being offered with this Six of Pentacles. So this comes back to what I said. It feels very much like it's tied into the concepts from that reading from a week ago, where there seems to be some extra help in some way. There seems to be something that has stepped through or has connected in. It doesn't necessarily have to be something like a spirit or a being. It can just be a different frequency that you've tapped into that is adding this extra support, extra protection. Some oomph. And here underneath Issa, what we see is we see the Five of Wands. I'll show it here. And it's interesting to me that the Five of Wands here is showing up in all sorts of different colors. It's almost like a hold was placed on various energy centers for somebody, and there was something that recently had to break open. I'm almost seeing it like a dam, right? Like a dam that's holding energy back, and it's recently been broken open, and all the water comes flooding out. Someone may even feel that way. They may feel extremely emotional right now. Lots of things kind of processing and churning as these sorts of spiritual energies shift and move inside of someone's life. Tell me more about Haglas. Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. Okay. Queen of Swords came out also in Thursday's reading. And this is very much about slowing things down, right? So we tend to think that movement is because we're moving fast, we're putting lots of energy behind it fast. And while we can have lots of energy in our willpower, it doesn't mean that we're making fast moves. The Queen of Pentacles, what she does is she lays very solid foundations. It's what the Knight of Pentacles represents as well. He moves slowly because he wants to be sure of every single step that he takes. It's not in an overthinking way, it's in a very smart way, right? He's exercising wisdom. And so here with this being part of Hagal, it's almost like something had to come down in order for something else to be built. Some of you may have had to change this sort of overthinking approach that you took to things, or you may have had to change this quick involvement that you take into things. I love that it's the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles that are showing up underneath this energy, because it doesn't speak to me, and it's not saying you didn't have one. It's not speaking to me about the Tower moment that happens suddenly and fast and out of nowhere. It's really saying that this sort of this energy of this hail, nature's wrath, this is really a testing ground. It's where someone was forged by fire, right? Somebody may even be seeing that now, that the things that have occurred to you inside of your life, they really forged you into something that once you decided to change your perspective and to pick up your wand, right, to pick up your personal power and your sovereignty away from the storylines that oftentimes come associated with these experiences. Understandably, it's part of the healing process. Once you've taken that wand back, that this is where you're being supercharged, right, to find purpose, potential, promise. Tell me about Tegas. Okay, the new day was initiated by a period of pause, the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is, I often do associate it with Odin, because what we see is we see somebody hanging from a tree. They're not able to move, and they're receiving some sort of illumination. This is really a card that speaks to me about some sort of spiritual discovery, right? Higher truth, bigger truth, receiving the mysteries. There's something like that that's happened here, and it's happening on a very deep subconscious level. So probably whoever this message is for, you may not even be aware that this is what's taking place for you unless you're paying attention to things like your dreams. Your dreams may have taken a very different sort of quality to them. Different sorts of colors starting to emerge, especially like the presence of gray, for example, or things that used to be dark in your dreams becoming a little lighter. So if you're used to like dark houses, those becoming more lit as you start to become illuminated about things. There's something here about the old and the new. There's poppies on the ground here, and poppies can be associated with death and funerary rites, and at the top we have these beautiful blossoms that are starting to blossom like it's spring. So this is a very liminal space, having our feet grounded in a place where new beginnings are starting to emerge in our 3D, and yet on the deeper spaces what's happening is something's passing away and something new is coming in. Tell me about the thorn. And this is the Two of Wands. For some of you, you are being protected again because you're in a sort of liminal space. You're in a space where you have to decide. Things are not, it may not even be the time to decide anything yet. That may not be happening, but you're coming up to a point where you're going to have to decide something, a direction, a path, right? And that's not. Now, I want to say something about that because when people hear things like that, they automatically feel pressure, and the pressure is being applied by no one but yourself if you hear that. Remember that, because again, I say it over and over on this channel, things are insanely simple, we complicate them. So there's something here about what was past and what is future, and finding a place where those two things merge, and understanding that in that merging point is the power to create our world. So this is very much a manifestive period that someone is coming into, which is why there's this protection stepping forward to kind of protect someone at this time. Again, it's a vulnerable space as a transition happens. It's throwing like a kind of, if you really dig into the concept and the ideas surrounding the psychopomp, right? Why they do what they do, why they lead and guide the way that they do. It's kind of giving me that energy. And then tell me about the ox. Same card as, I don't feel that I'm supposed to take that, so I'm not. Same card as Thursday, the end card, 9 of Cups. So this is all about freedom into liberating us into what we truly want. Okay. So there's some massive change happening here on very deep levels for somebody. And the whole purpose of these changes is because someone is working diligently towards trying to establish a life that they want for themselves. They've been working within, and now the 3D has kind of started to come into place for whoever this message is for. And there's something now deep inside that's beginning to shift and connect in. Some of you, this is literally a spirit or deity that has stepped in, quite possibly an angelic frequency for some of you that has stepped in and is kind of guarding you or safeguarding you during this time period. So I'm going to leave this here. And whoever's message this is an amazing energy. So good luck with this. And if it resonates with you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment. And until next time.